If you're visiting or living in Muscat and you're looking for something different to do, you might try a weekend trip to Sohar. It's halfway between Dubai and Muscat and also on the way to Abu Dhabi. As you enter the city, one of the things you see first is a big mosque. When I see that, I know I'm sort of getting into the center of Sohar. One of the places to visit in Sohar is the Sohar Fort. I've been here a few times and it's always closed, so I'm not really sure if they're ever really open. But it's near the beach and it's an old fort, and so it makes a nice backdrop for some photos, and you can just walk around and just take in the ambiance of the fort. So even if it's not open, I think it's worth stopping by for 15-20 minutes and just take some photos and walk around. Now we're taking a drive through the streets of Sohar just so you can have an idea of what it looks like. We've come now to the fish market, which is along the water. You'll have fishermen coming and going. This was a little bit late in the day when I was there. There were a few boats speeding around in the harbor, but overall relatively quiet. Down at the harbor, there are a few restaurants. This particular restaurant apparently has a nice balcony, but when I was there, they were closed, and so I wasn't able to go inside. I hear it's really nice to go upstairs and you can take some photos, and it's a nice view. The next place I went was called Wow Cafe. It has these umbrellas on the ceiling, so it kind of has a very spectacular feeling to it. Actually, we just got some juices there, and that was it. But I hear that it's a good place to stop when you're along the Corniche. Now, just driving out of the fish market and the harbor area, and then just gonna take a drive along the Corniche. Here there's some restaurants. We'll be back here a little bit later tonight. There's some restaurants and cafes here as we're driving along the Corniche. I'm just driving along here so you can just have some idea of what it's like along the beach areas. These are some neighborhoods just set behind the beach. I understand they're making some sort of, that this area is being developed, and I believe they're putting in kind of a fast road and some hotels. So I think some of these structures won't be here in the future. This is an area where you've got some fishing boats, so obviously the fishermen from this area will go out and catch fish and bring it back. Quite a common sight along certain areas of the coast where you have beaches, where you have the fishing boats. Now we're a little bit in the northern side of the city. Sohar is a big port, and they have a fair amount of oil and I think gas exports, so it's nothing pretty. I just thought I would drive down and show you what the port area looks like. Now this is just driving again through some of the streets. One of the things you'll notice is there are no pavements or sidewalks here, so if you need to walk or go anywhere, you kind of have to keep an eye over your shoulder, because you'll be sharing the road with any vehicles. This is kind of just a mixture. You can see some palm trees, you'll see some houses, you'll also see some commercial space. Again, just driving along just so you can get a sense of what some of the back roads will look like. There is kind of a major motorway that cuts through Sohar, kind of splits it in half. And near the motorway you have like big shopping malls, and also there are some gated communities in Sohar as well, and they're kind of closer to the motorways. So this is more of the quieter back streets that I'm showing you, because I think the other areas you can probably imagine what they look like, but this is just to give you a little bit more of what the quieter side looks like. Lots of speed bumps in the roads, as you'll notice as we're driving along. We're back on the Corniche. This is where we had dinner that night. It was a Turkish place called Karam Beirut. This is a Sohar souk. It's actually relatively quiet. There weren't that many shops open, so I didn't bother going in to take photos. We then went to a cafe called V60 along the Corniche and had some dessert there after eating at the Lebanese place. So this is inside V60. And this is the Corniche now at night. I'm just taking some photos just so you can kind of see the traffic that comes and goes. Usually it's actually quite busy, bumper to bumper, but at this time of year it was relatively quiet. So this is quiet by Corniche standards. That's Robusta. It's a coffee shop. There's the Lebanese place I had dinner again, and then just some activity here along the Corniche. And that's it for your sights and sounds, or more like views of Sohar.